Hey guys, we're Miamigo, and you're watching Toasted.
Hey, welcome to Amsterdam again.
Thank you for having us, Amsterdam, again, because we love it here. So can't stay away. We love it.
You just told me you've never been here before. How come? I mean, you guys
One time we had been here 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
you play with Hertz, right?
yeah, that was so cool.
And a great combination too, I think.
Thank you. Yeah. We got to know them a little bit on tour, and they were so awesome. They were so awesome. They've got such huge love out here as well, and Germany, and where else did we play with them?
We went to Brussels here, Germany. Yeah.
We're doing Berlin, yeah.
How was the Berlin gig actually? Was that cool?
That's what we're about. We're about to do that.
With Hertz?
Yeah. In
No
2
shit,
days.
so they're back?
Yeah. And Weisbaden as well.
Hey, I love the show. I saw you guys play with Hertz actually, and we talked about this before, and it was really amazing because the room was packed and nobody walked away. People really got into the music, and of course this is, well, you might reckon it's a normal thing, but it's not. I mean, when you open up for a band like that, or when you open up for any band, you really need to conquer your audience, right?
For sure, definitely. And that was by far the biggest audience we'd ever played to. That was maybe our 14th gig.
Yeah.
So it was going in the deep end, but it was awesome. And what was funny is that I think playing to a crowd a little bit bigger than what we were used to back in Brighton was a little less daunting because you can't see everyone's faces, so you can't see who is bored and you can't see who's loving it. So everyone loves it in my head, which is great. Yeah. Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah. I was really lucky to be asked to go with them, to go on tour with them.
How did that happen actually? Did they just send an email, or they probably knew your music, right? Because otherwise,
we're involved in the same management as them as well, so I think that probably had something to do with it. It was quite a quick. We did 1 week we didn't know, and the next week they were like, "Do you want to come out and join them on tour?" We're like, "Of course, yes, definitely."
I think they liked our music. I
hope
and then that's how it kind of happened.
hey, you guys are in Brighton right now, but you made music in London for 10 years. I read. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. We're both from North London. We grew up in a suburb, Barnet, around a park, and on the weekends or after school we'd just go in each other's house or the park and just play some guitar and write some music, or film a video to the song, whatever we could do. And then we both went down south to Brighton for study for about 3 years at uni, and then we both left without a degree. And then we
left after about a year of uni because we just didn't. This wasn't happening. And then
enrolled for 3 years. But
enrolled for 3 years, but we only made it past.
But why Brighton? I mean, I've been there a couple of times. I like it. Friends of mine used to live there. It has a special vibe. It's a really small town though, but a lot of musicians there, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's a real novelty little town. We're only 65 miles from it, so it's not like a million miles away. But when you go back there from London, you feel like every time I go back there, I'm never like, "Oh, I'm back in Brighton." I'm back in Brighton. I love it. It's so nice. I think
Shame about the pier though. What the hell, man?
Yeah. It's just, and every year when there's another storm, it just gets a little less. It just goes down each time. But I love
the decay of the United Kingdom, probably. Hey, let's talk about music. I think you guys write shamefully great pop songs. Well, you succeeded. I mean, seeing two is like you listen to it once and it never leaves your head.
Thanks. That was it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's probably one of our most kind of sing-along songs in the crowd, and maybe one of our most ballady ones. But that was a real fun one to do. We filmed the music video for it as well, just me and Jay and two lovely twins. But that one was that one's quite a special one. It's quite.
Do you realize when you write a song like that it's a great song?
I think you're so close to the music. So maybe at the time I think we're writing 1 or 2 songs a day, not necessarily 100% finished, but you get to a point you live with it for a few weeks and you're like, is this good? Yeah. Am I going mad? Does it even sound good?
We never think that we always think that they're terrible until they're finished and we haven't heard them for a while. And then we listen to it a few months later and we're like, it's all right.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a year to come back to it and you're like, so that's what that song sounds like, with a fresh ear, because you're listening to all the little intricate bits that no one else listens to. He does.
I love it actually. I mean, and I had the same discussion with Hertz back in the days when they were just opening up. They were like, I said, when I was young, I had a discussion with a friend of mine on high school, and I was listening to Dead Kennedys, and he was listening to Ecstasy, and he said, and I was like, why do you listen to Ecstasy? He says, well, because it's great pop music, and great pop music is a tune that sticks in your head, but if you start to listen to the music, you discover layers and layers, and you can keep on listening to it. And I told Hertz that's what they do, but that's what you guys do as well.
Oh, thank you, man. That's a huge compliment to have. I think for us, what it is, for me anyway, because Jamie is like the producer, and I write all the lyrics and all the sometimes the music. But what it is for me, it's kind of like it has to be kind of like the first time you listen to a song. I believe there has to be some kind of hook, whether it's a vocal hook or a guitar or whatever. That's to kind of get you in, and then you're gonna have to listen to it again. So I guess that is pop in a sense.
Yeah.
I think what makes us pop, hopefully pop, is the production as well, because it's throwback, but I don't think it negates itself to one era in particular. I think it uses different attributes from the 80s and the 90s and like drums from the 70s and stuff like that. So I hope it does. You get all the influences and stuff.
It is, of course, the influences are obvious. On the other hand, I was like, I don't like comparing bands. You know, it's like you can call people could tell you, well, they are influenced by Duran Duran or Order or Prince or the obvious stuff, but you have a unique own sound. So it's hard to compare you guys. What I do think though, and this is where you come in. If you start producing pop music like this, it's a thin line between having a great tune and a great song, which is interesting to listen to, or straight up tacky.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the hard. Like, I can't write lyrics, so I think it's one of the writing a good pop song is the hardest thing, more so than writing like a sort of the heaviest song, or like. Cause I used to be really into that, and then just kind of not gave it up, but just realised that that's like writing a good pop song is so difficult. I think so many people or so many bands don't get it quite right, and I think we're just aiming to try and write a great pop song, and that's
also the production. I mean, you can easily overdo it if you enter the horns and the whole song blows.
I think I overdo it quite all the time. I think, and then we have to like rein it in because there's just like too many things going.
Sometimes I really had the feeling like, wow, this is shameless production with like horns and synths and stuff, and how can you get away with it and still keep the music interesting?
I don't know. Layering, yeah. I think it's just having a good beat, I guess, having like a really nice. It's not even about it being fat or like big sounding. It's just having it suit the song, and then I think you can get away with cheesy stuff at the moment, especially if the melodies or the lyrics are quite dark, and then the undertones of the song are dark. You can get away with sort of nice things on the top of it. But yeah, usually we try and use every kind of, I don't know what the word is, like every sort of, not cliche, but like sort of lead-ins and transitions between sections just to make it sound more poppy.
A proper song.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What I was wondering about, you guys you don't have a massive studio to produce this music, right? It does sound though like it's the best of the best when you listen to all the old 80s songs. It does have the same amazing sound. Come on.
Cheers, dude. Yeah, well, that's all just done at our flat back in Brighton. We moved it from your bedroom very recently to the front room, so it's closer to the kitchen. So
do you need like a Neve with I don't know how many tracks?
We do have one Neve. We've got one Neve preamp.
You do?
Yeah, we do now. Only recently though, but we do have one.
But do you need all that stuff to create good music? Because I mean, come on.
No, it's been over the 10 years that we've been lucky enough to build up the collection of software that we have. Very fortunate. We started out just using GarageBand on Mac, and that's the only way I'd just be singing directly into the computer, and then I guess over time it's built itself up, and we've sold stuff that we don't necessarily need, and you realise you can get it on a plugin, so it kind of works the same. You don't need to lug around a big fat.
We've got some hardware stuff, like we've got a Moog, we've got like the Neve thing, but nothing too crazy. But I think we didn't start with that much. We started with just a computer, and if you've started with all this equipment, you kind of tend to overlook the music, and then we've just sort of built it up over such a long time that now we're kind of we know how to use everything 100%.
So if a record company would stand up and now give you a massive deal and give you an upfront fee of like, I don't know, £500,000, what would you do with it?
Definitely buy some nice synths, I think.
You would?
And a nice guitar, yeah. Well,
so there's the trap. You would take the money and you would build a massive studio and you would stop making music, but...
I think I'd buy a drum kit. I can't play drums, but I'd definitely buy a drum kit. Because that's the one thing we haven't got, is like a real... I mean, we've recorded real drums for songs, but that's when we have to go somewhere to do it. But if we had one at our house, that'd be great.